Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Next up is some maintenance on this 2018 Crew Cab Silverado. It's on some 26s, laying frame. Got a lot of custom work done on this one, not from here, but it's got bead roll, the bed, all the sheet metal is bead rolled. I'm actually going to be getting a bead roller here soon, but this one's got a roll pan on it. Looks real good. We're gonna be doing some maintenance on it, some shocks, some airbags replacement. Just some basic maintenance. Some compressors. Update the compressors, some newer ones. Yeah. With the tires off, I'm getting measurements of the shocks because we're going to replace the shocks for new ones. And we're going to put new bags in, so we got to pull the bags to know which ones they are. And same with the rear. I'm getting the extended number and then fully compressed. I have to put a block under the jack. I'm gonna let it back down and then we'll get those numbers. We'll pull these bags, and then before we order everything, I have to double check and see which compressors work and which ones don't. More than likely, we'll probably just replace all four. Bags are out. Shocks are gonna stay in until we get the new bags in and the shocks in, and then we'll swap them all at once. That way it can hold the suspension from dropping any further or anything. We'll show you the bags. And also earlier, you saw in the video, I was getting down here and had the truck in the on position. You can see the test light. I was checking the compressors to see which ones come on. There's 2 here and 2 on the outside of one on each outside of the frame. We're not sure if we're gonna run 4 or we're just gonna reduce it down to 2, but there will be new compressors put on. These will come off. And here are the bags. We're gonna go ahead and replace them. These are separating here at the bottom. You can see the wire and everything. This is a lot more further than what these should do. These aren't even the SS's, these are the REs. I'm gonna be going with the SS models. They have 1 more inch longer stroke, and they also withstand 50 PSI more than these. So these will get put on the shelf as mock-up bags. And then we're gonna go ahead and probably switch to Slam Specialties as well for the rear, but I believe we'll go to 8s. I gotta measure these and see what they are. I'm not an airlift guy, I don't use Dominators. So we'll go ahead and see which ones these are, but I believe they're what you call 2600s, which would be RE8s, I believe. We'll double check. And then we'll get to pulling the compressors down. We'll get all them down and test them. Before I pull them out, I need to find the relay and double check to make sure that all that wiring's set up correctly. So we'll just keep on trucking. We'll make sure this thing is wired up and done correctly. I went ahead and ordered all new bags and the shocks. Unfortunately, they're not all gonna be here till next week, at least 1 week from today. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap the bags all back in, put the wheels back on, tighten them up, and I'm gonna pull this out of here and take care of another job that's showing up today. It's only a few day job that's showing up, but we'll get it knocked out. Really quick, I wanted to show you why we were replacing the bags. As you can see, this one is split. That's the base right there, and there's that. This is the RE model. The newer ones, I'll show you when they come in, they have, this area is designed to flex. I have them on my full size, the blue one, Pete, and I've had no issues. I've had it on there 7 years. All right, we'll get the wheels back on this, and then we'll pull it out. And then when the new parts come in, we'll pull it in. We are back. The parts are in. They came in a little early, so we're gonna go ahead and get up back on it now that we got that other job done. The lower two boxes right here, those are the rear shocks. Those should be the front shocks. These should be the dual compressor kit with 4 airbags. And we're gonna go ahead and redo the front control arm bushings. The front control arms and the front kit and the rear kit, the rear setup, are kits from Extensive. So we went ahead and ordered replacement bushings for them. And we'll go ahead and swap them out while we're in there. So we can go ahead and get this back in the air and get tearing everything apart. I went ahead and opened all the boxes of all the parts. And we'll go ahead and show you what we have. Like I said, the front shocks, new rubber, rear shocks, new front bushings, 2 new 480C compressors, and all brand new Slam Specialty SS7 bags all the way around. We'll go ahead and start tearing into it. Fittings, as you saw, were pulled from the old ones. I cleaned them up with a wire wheel, small tiny wire wheel, and then re-sealed them. They're all tight. Next, we'll hook up this little gadget. It goes right to a valve, to my air hose, and this goes into the bag. We will add some air from the compressor to each bag, and then we will check it for leaks by spraying some soap water on it. And as long as these have no leaks, then they can be installed, and knowing if there's any leaks, it's not from the bags. So we'll go ahead and install the bags. And when I install each bag, so I'll install this one, I'll go ahead and take the shock out, put the bag in, swap that shock out with its corresponding new one. That way, once I'm done installing all the bags, all the shocks are done. Then we'll move to the upper control arm bushings. Like I said, I noticed this one, the shoulder piece is missing a bushing. They're both on this side, which is fine. But we're gonna go ahead and swap them all out while we're in here. So it'll have new bushings in the front. The bushings in the rear, I already went ahead and looked over it. The bushings in the rear look fine. They look good. So there's no need to change them. I did notice while driving it, the rear floated some, so we're gonna go ahead and change these shocks out. And as you see, there's a hair bit of rubbing. I'm gonna space the spacer between the frame and the shock, a little shorter if I have room. That way it'll give a little more clearance and maybe not rub on anything. You guys need any maintenance, any work done? Don't hesitate to hit me up. Alright, so I went ahead and plugged in my airline into the wall. Close this bad boy up. Turn on the air. That's important. Alright, now we have air. Feel it leaking out of this back up. Valve handles me when I open it. Start with this one. Put your line in there. Put on there. These bags can hold up to 250 psi. My tank ain't nowhere near that, so I can give it all the air it needs. This handle leaks a little, but you know what? That's only temporary. Soapy water, turn it on. Give it a good spray down where the connection is. Don't be afraid to soak it. You'll see big bubbles if it's leaking. And I have filled that little spot up. And here, we'll zoom in. And as you can see, there's no bubbles popping up. Alright, so this one is leak free. You can hear it leaking out of my fitting or this. But as you saw with the spray, nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and air this one out. And continue to check the other ones. I'll go ahead and speed these three up so you guys ain't gotta watch this in slow time, real time. As you can see, when they're dry, see how there's that little divot down in there? Well, I filled that up with the Dawn soap, as you can see, and there's no bubbles. It would be actively bubbling. So, that's all four of them. We'll go ahead and install them next. All 4 new bags are in. I have to go return and swap out the shocks as the store gave me the wrong part number. After verifying what I needed, that's not what they gave me. So we're gonna go swap those out. And then we'll go ahead and put the new shocks in, but there's the brand new bags, looking good. And I'll show you once we air up that between the base plate and the bag, they now have a woven section that's supposed to separate, and that eliminates what these other bags were doing on the REs and splitting. See how it separates right there? That's not supposed to happen. Yeah, not on these. These are supposed to be one piece. On these, if I can find a picture, I'll drop a picture up right here. If not, then I'll have to air it up and show you. All right, I'm gonna run down to the store and swap these out. Was fighting this lower shock bolt from Extensive, and it's literally just a bolt welded to a washer. So that I mean, I get it, it's flat, but I had it in a vise, breaker bar on it and everything, and it wasn't enough. So we went ahead and cut it off. And then you can see on it that it's seized up. And instead of this continuing, we're just gonna do the head of the bolt there. And on here, I'll show you. They have a bolt. That's the bolt. I mean the nut. It bolts this to here, and then you put a nut, to tighten it to the control arm. So I'll delete that spacing, and I'll have room over here then for the head of the bolt. And that way, you won't have this issue, because what's happening is you're tightening this one and then tightening another nut up against it. It's eating the threads. And so every time you go to service your shocks, you're gonna have to put a new one of these, get a new one of these, make it, or buy it off their website. So I'm just gonna put a through bolt through it. Grade 8. I don't think theirs was grade 8. That might have been why the threads got ate up. So let's go ahead and put these in, and we can move on to the compressors. This one I was able to get off, but as you can see where it flattened everything when they tightened the two nuts against each other. So scrap pile that goes, and we'll put the new one in, and I'll show you once they're in how good it looks. And I said we're gonna do the compressors next, but I misspoke. We need to pull those arms out of there and swap out the new bushings. Brand new bushings, brand new bags, shocks, and control arm bushings. This thing's gonna ride like a dream. You gotta stay on top of your maintenance. If you don't do your maintenance on these vehicles, just like any other vehicle, they'll start to get sloppy and loose. Driver's side is ready to go. Brand new bushings, and reuse the sleeve, the metal sleeves that were already in there. But these were already starting to fall apart. You can see the inside, they're pretty deteriorated. They're pretty hard too. These are a real nice soft rubber that you could squeeze. I was able to see. You want them to be soft. You don't want them to be hard. These look like just some basic energy suspension. I think these are the old things that came, old bushings that they used to send. Maybe they changed them or updated. I'm not sure. I don't really use much of their products. So we'll go ahead and get this back in and repositioned to where it was. That's why I marked it with the yellow paint marker. Get everything tightened down, cotter pin back in for the spindle after we get the nut on and tight, castle nut tight. And then we'll go ahead and get this side buttoned up. Then we'll move on to the other side. Then we'll get to the compressors. Hey, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications while you're at it for me. All back together, just like the driver's side. all tight and secure. I'll double check these once I cycle through a few times, and I'll double check the tightness. I put it back right at the mark where I marked it, again, like I said, with the yellow paint marker. So now we can go ahead and focus on the compressors. We'll go ahead and pull all 4 of those down. Depending how they're hooked up, might have to plug 2 holes, but we can keep moving on this. All the compressors are out. 2 of them don't work. 1 of them kind of works. I haven't checked the pressure on them or anything with them, but we went ahead and went with, like I said, the big ones. These are 380Cs. And then we stepped up to the 480C. A little bit of a bigger compressor. Bigger leader hose. It should supply, these 2 should supply what those 4 do. We're gonna find out. All I gotta do is change the feet around. These need to be flipped around to the inside on both of them so they work with the brackets, and then we should be good to go. I'll double check. I believe with these mounts, I might be able to loosen them maybe. I don't know. I don't think I can adjust them mounts. No, they're bolted to the strap that mounts them. Okay. All right, yeah, so we'll adjust these feet. See how these feet are on the inside? These feet are on the outside, so we'll loosen this screw and put them on, flip it around. Just flip them around like that, both of them, or swap them. And then once we do that, we can start getting them in. Got everything all wired up. The only thing left is to connect the compressors to the tank. And to do that, I'm going to remove this plug, and then I'll plug this one, because these ends are a little bit bigger. They're 3/8, not 1/4 inch, but that is a 3/8 plug. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that and stick this guy in there. Then we can go ahead and test the system out for leaks. All right, that's everything. I went ahead and sprayed it all down with the soapy water. I had to fill it back up, and there's no leaks. Went ahead and started the truck, and it fills that tank quite fast. Let me go ahead and show you. Let me grab this light, and I'll show you what I was talking about. I couldn't really find nothing online about it, but these are designed to separate from the cup. As you can see right here, it's normal, and then as you see right there, it's starting to separate. Down at the bottom does it as well. You can see right there, it's touching, and then you can see the little woven part I was kind of talking about up there. That stretches out away from the cup, and I believe they did this to correct the issue where it was ripping up there on the REs. These SSs, they, like I said, they're a little tougher. Everybody's worried about it being plastic up here. I've had the SSs in my blue truck in Pete. I built that in 2018, 2019. Haven't had to replace a bag or maintenance anything. There's the other one back here. Fits wonderfully. No rubbing, nothing to touch it. Won't balloon. Slam Specialties don't balloon like Dominators, so you can put them in a tight spot and not worrying about them ballooning and rubbing. Everything's done down here. Nothing's touching. Like I said, you can see where some things are still wet, where I sprayed it down with the soap water. So now all we have to do is go ahead and stick the wheels back on it, drop the hood, and pull it out. All right, it's done. Laid back out, sealed. Like I said before, that tank fills up pretty quick now. Those are some quick compressors. I've never used them before. Remember, if you guys need anything done to your air ride, you need it installed, changed out, swapped out, anything, even advice, hit me up. So now we're gonna take this one back whenever the customer's available. I drove 2.5 hours away to go pick this up, and then I'm gonna go drop it off. You know, I will work with you if you need me to come get it, and I'm able to, I'll come snag it. The owner of this truck is quite busy, has a busy schedule, and that's completely understandable. That's why I'm here. So I can either come pick it up or you can drop it off. So, all right, everyone. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here, thank you for watching as always. See you on the next one.